Hello everyone, welcome to Chessboard Baseball. This is APO, and today we're going to evaluate Shohei Ohtani's plate appearances so far. What we're going to do is we're going to look at his best 3 plate appearances and his worst 3 plate appearances so far this season according to Chessboard Baseball scores. So what we're going to do is we're just going to replay those plate appearances here, and we're going to go through the score. Hopefully, as we do this exercise, you can familiarize yourself a little bit more with the scoring system, as each pitch is going to generate a score, whether it's a ball, whether it's a strike, whether it's a foul in the zone or a foul outside the zone. All of that we are going to cover right now. And yes, we're going to do Shohei Ohtani now. I may do some of the other players a little bit later, but today for this video, we're just going to focus on Shohei Ohtani and the first 12 games of this 2026 MLB season. So let's get started. Okay, so here we go. This is the this was actually from the first game. Shohei Ohtani, I believe this maybe was his second or third plate appearance of the season against the Arizona Diamondbacks. And yeah, let's see. So this is one of his top scoring scores, or top scoring plate appearances according to Chessboard Baseball. So let's look at it. So first pitch is a foul in the zone. So as you can see, that's a +1. So anytime a player hits a ball foul, but it was in the zone, then that's +1. And I'll explain as the scores as we go along. Second pitch, it's a ball, so a ball will be rewarded with +3. So each pitch will be scored, and we'll just go through that. But so far, a foul in the zone and a ball. Next one again, another foul in the zone for Shohei Ohtani, +1. A ball inside, +3 for Shohei Ohtani in this plate appearance. Another foul in the zone. I mean, you could argue maybe if they challenged it, but I think that was in the zone. And then another ball, +3. And a ball, +3, and he was walked. And yes, a walk, just because it's seen so many pitches, and then you get to score so many positive outcomes from those pitches, then it'll elevate the score to this one, which was a 28. So I have the plate appearance results down here as well, but you can't really see it very well. But it was an outstanding plate appearance. This was 28 points. There was a runner on first, meaning that he walked with runners on, and that is +4. So a walk is worth 3 points, but then you add that there were runners on base, and that is +1. Now, if there were runners on first and second, and this walk pushed to get the bases loaded, then that would be a walk +3. Or if bases loaded and then you walk and a run comes in, and that's also a walk +3. But this is a walk +1. And then the queen assignment, which Shohei Ohtani has the queen assignment or tier. Only him and Freddie Freeman have that, are part of that tier as far as the 2 queens for the Dodgers. And that resulted the overall, because it was a foul in the zone, a ball, another foul in the zone, another ball, another foul in the zone, and 2 balls in a row. And that total score combines with the +4 for the walk, +9 for being a queen. And that is an outstanding 28. So that's one of his best at-bats so far this season. Let's look at the second one. All right, here we go. This was so there's a ball +3. This was a game against the Washington Nationals. I believe this was game number 6. I can't remember if this was game number 6, but it seems like this was his second plate appearance. There were 2 men on base. He's 1-0 so far on this plate appearance. And there goes the ball. So as you can see, just on the swing itself, so I haven't really, it's not a +3 for the home run, but it's a +3 for making contact, putting the ball in play on a ball that was in the strike zone. So just that, I mean, it could result in a ground out, it could result in a fly out, it could result in an out, it doesn't matter. But if it was contact on a ball that was put in play, and the ball was in the strike zone, then that's +3. So here right now he had a ball which was +3, and then contact on a pitch in the strike zone put in play. That's +3. And this ball was way gone for Shohei Ohtani. That was his first home run of this season, and this resulted in an outstanding plate appearance as well. 29, just slightly, and I mean, you see the result, but only because it was only 2 pitches, right? So you didn't really accumulate too many points throughout the at bat. 2 pitches, you yeah, so 6 points right there. And then home run, it was a home run with runners on base. So it doesn't matter if it was bases loaded, one, it's just home run with runners on. That's 9 points for being a home run, which is, of course, the highest score that you can get. And then +5 for there being runners on base. So that's 14. And then again, he gets the queen score, which is +9. And that was a 29 score, chessboard baseball score for Shohei Ohtani for that plate appearance, which was, amazing, really good, and awesome to see for his first home run of the season. For this next game, it's so there you go, foul +1. This was against the Washington Nationals. Uh, I believe I can't remember if it was maybe the 8th game of the season. I want to say that's what it was. But anyways, first pitch foul for Shohei Ohtani in the strike zone. Now, if it's a foul on a pitch outside the strike zone, like I said, it's -1. But in the strike zone is +1. Next pitch is a ball. Now that could have been a strike, but they didn't challenge it. So we score what the result is, not what it could have been. So that's +3, a ball for Shohei Ohtani in this. So he's got a foul, so +1 and +3. And another ball, so +3. And +3 on contact. Look at where that ball was. Nice fastball. And that's gone, right? So +3. That was hit way out. And this total score was a +28. Again, now here, of course, you get hurt because there were no runners. It's a solo home run, so no runners on base and a 4-pitch at bat. But as you can see, all 4 pitches resulted in a positive score for Shohei Ohtani. Actually, so far, everything that I've shown, he's gotten positive results. So no red yet, but we're about to see. But anyway, this one was a 28. Home run is +9, as I said before, and then his queen factor is +9. And these were the 3 best plate appearances so far. These were actually the only 3 plate appearances where he had an outstanding score. Now he had a bunch of other ones where they were great, and other type of, we have outstanding, great, good, bad, well, marginal, bad, and horrendous. So these were the only 3 from these first 12 games of the season where he received an outstanding score. Now we're going to look at the worst plate appearances so far this season, the first 12 games for Shohei Ohtani, and they are a little bit bad. So let's take a look at it. Okay, so here we go. Starting with strike looking. So it's a -1 if you get a strike looking. So that's where he started with. Now it's a -3 if it's a strike swinging outside the strike zone. So that's the worst score that you can have, is if you swing and miss at a pitch that's outside the strike zone. So that's -1, -3. And another swing at a pitch that was outside the strike zone. So it was a -1, -3, and -3, which resulted for queen for Shohei Ohtani. This is a bad plate appearance, a -3 overall. You can see down here the results of it all as well. But a strikeout is -5. You would say, how come it's not worse, -9? Well, the -9 is on a ground out that results in a double play, and that is -9. But here is -5 for the strikeout, and he still gets the +9 for the queen factor. That's why the score, I mean, if he was any other chess piece, this score would be way, way lower than that. But the queen helps it keep it at a -3. Still a bad plate appearance though. So this is the worst. I mean, he's got another -3, which we're gonna look at right now. But he doesn't have anything lower than -3 so far. But for the most part, as you can see here, all three things were bad, right? He let go of the only good pitch, and then he swung on two bad pitches. That tends to be somewhat when he has bad plate appearances. This is typically what happens. Okay, so strike one, looking again, so -1 from Varland. Another uh strike swinging outside the strike zone and swinging outside the strike zone. It's pretty much the same as the other one, so it did result in a -3 for Shohei Ohtani once again. So the strikeout -5 and the queen factor +9. But again, it's almost a mirror. It's like the same as that other player appearance. Um, strike looking, and then two swing and misses on pitches outside the strike zone. This is kind of typical. I don't want to say typical, it doesn't happen a lot, but he does tend to swing a lot of bad pitches. Okay, and then this was actually from the latest game against the Blue Jays where the Dodgers lost. So this was actually in the top of the ninth where Shohei led off the inning. And then we're going to see. So he swings and misses at a pitch that's outside the strike zone first. That's a ball. That's really good take. So +3 here. So this is not too bad. It's not all negative. Swinging at a pitch that's high, and one thing that I've noticed with Otani is that he loves those high pitches. Like, and if he gets a hold of them, that thing is gone for sure, right? So typically when he gets a hold of those high and up, but it's not very often that he does. But if he does, that thing's gone. That's why he likes it, right? But anyways, another -3. And then a pitch that's essentially right down the middle. So the same pattern that we saw before from his other two pretty bad at plate appearances is that he'll swing at the bad pitches, let go of the good pitch. And this one was a so this one was a bad plate appearance as well, but it's a 0, not a -3. Which is better. What helped him here, in difference to the other two that we saw, is that there was a ball in there, right? So he did take a ball, and then that brought his score up from -3, what would have been -3, to 0. But again, the strikeout -5, and the queen factor for Otani +9. So that's pretty much the evaluation for Shohei Ohtani so far this season for his best, his three best plate appearances and his three worst plate appearances. Um, and this are clearly his best three. I could show more, and I would like to do a more in-depth analysis of all of his plate appearances if that's something that you're interested in as well. But really, it just turned out that his three best were the ones that I just showed. Like, he doesn't have anything like tying with these. It's a 29 and 28 and 220, 129 and 228. And then these three were his absolute worst, two -3s and 1-0. So, which means that everything else that he's done has been somewhere in the middle of these uh, plate appearances that I just showed. And as I said before, I would love to uh, evaluate other or do this same analysis with other players like Freddie Freeman, Andy Pages, who has been killing it, Will Smith, even Kyle Tucker, as how has he acclimated so far with the Dodgers. So we'll see. We'll see if I can set aside the time to do that. But right now, I did want to do it on Shohei Ohtani. Uh, his as far as his first 12 games, he's been fine, right? I mean, I think he's hitting 267, which is below where he typically ends up, and about close to a 900 OPS, which is also below where he currently ends up for the season. So, um, what we can expect is that those numbers and his performance will continue to go up, and as we go along. So for the first 20 games or so, I'll do another video as far as, the first 20 games which have been the best. I won't repeat these because these are already here and recorded, but I can, whatever happens over the next 10 games, then I can show those for sure. That's it for this video. Please, if you can provide feedback as to what you think of the chessboard baseball concept, whether you want to see more, whether there's some players and specifically that you'd like for me to analyze and to do the best versus worst. Um, Series as well, I can do that. So if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you are curious and want to see more of chessboard baseball. So thanks again, and I'll see you again soon.